Hi everyone, my name is Lana Miles and I'm with Westbrook Realty. Today I want to go over the contract with you. So every time we are making an offer in the state of California, we are using the offer to purchase. I'm using the California Association of Realtors CAR form, offer to purchase. It looks like this. As a full disclosure, I'm not trying to give you any legal advice or tax advice. I am just a real estate agent. I just want to give you a basic understanding of what you should put in an offer, what kind of offer is considered clean offer, competitive offer, what you need to do in order to be competitive in the multiple offer market, and how you can get your home sooner than later. Every time I start working with a client, whether it's a buyer or seller, the first thing that we do, we're sitting down here in my office, or it can be even done over Zoom, and I'm walking the clients through the disclosure forms and through all the offer paperwork that will be participating in the transaction. Today, I want to focus more on the offer to purchase, and it will be helpful for both buyers and sellers, since buyers will learn how to make competitive offers and the sellers will learn what to look in those offers and what things are important, what things are less important. And today I would like to start with the agency relationship disclosure that has to be present with every offer. It looks like this. Basically, it just determines the relationship between the real estate professional and the client. Every single real estate professional owns fiduciary duty to their clients. They have to be honest. They have to represent their best interest. Dual agency is legal in the state of California, so one agent can be representing both buyers and both buyer and the seller on the same transaction. However, I do not do this. I do not practice, and I'm completely against it. But I do want to let you know that that's legal, and you can do it if you want to. The reason why I don't practice in my business dual agency is because, number one, when I meet the client, I promise that I'll be negotiating and I'll be representing their interest. If I represent both buyer and the seller, I don't feel like I can do the best job for both parties in the transaction, because buyer wants the lowest possible price, the seller wants the highest possible price. I'm just not sure how I can satisfy both and how I can make both clients happy, and that's not something that I want to do, to have an unhappy client. Okay, so that's number one reason why I don't do the dual agency. And the second reason is also the legal aspect of it. The most frustrated buyers, the most low cases that we have here, it's actually about the dual agency. I want to focus on those terms probably at the personal consultation. I want to get to the heart of the offer, of the most important things. So the most important thing when it comes to the offer actually starts here. Okay, this is the main page where we actually put all our terms. We'll start from the very beginning. Every single offer has a date. The offer has to be dated. Make sure it's not missed. Then it has your name, right? Make sure that your names are spelled correctly, because the way we write your names on a contract, it will be showing on a title, right? If you do want to make some changes later to your names on a title, it may cost you additional fees. So in order to make sure that we are just putting everything correct, double check, right? Your realtor may be the most professional realtor in the world, but we are all human beings, and typos mistakes are, they are happening. So just be careful with that. Also, we're putting the property address on a form. Make sure that this is the correct property address. Make sure that APN is also correct and it's not missed, it's not blanked. Seller brokerage firm, the buyer brokerage firm. Then we're moving to the heart of our offer, the most important thing. This is the price, okay? So it's the number one in the paragraph 3A, the purchase price. So whatever price you want to offer, you have to make a decision what kind of price you want to offer. I know that all my buyers ask me, Lana, what should I offer? Lana, what should I do? That's your home, that's your money, and you have to make that decision for yourself, whatever you feel comfortable. What I can do for you, I can provide you with a comparative market analysis. I can give you the activity report on the property. I can tell you how many groups came by through the open house, how many disclosures downloads, how many showings were scheduled, what's the activity, what the expectations, how many offers are coming. I can give you all of that information. I can also share a little bit about the seller with you, right? I can go meet the seller's agent in person to give you as much information as I possibly can, but I will not tell you the exact number that you need to put, because no one knows what the winning offer is. No one really knows what the winning offer is, because buyers are determining how much they're willing to offer, and they making this determination based on how much they want the house, how much they love the house, and how much they actually feel comfortable spending on a house. So the real answer is how much you are willing to pay for it. If you're scared of overpaying or making too low, you're scared that you're gonna lose just because you place too little, right? Like your offer is not competitive, so no one will talk to you. My job as a real estate agent, even if you made not a strong offer, my job to get you a seat at the negotiation table. My job to make sure that the seller side is still talking to us, even if you offended them in a lower offer. My job is to get you an opportunity. Your job is to whether take it or not to take it. But that's something that realtors should be able to provide you with. Purchase price comes from your own gut feeling and from your own means, wherever you feel comfortable. So the next is 3B, close of escrow. So close of escrow, what's escrow, right? So let's start here. What's escrow? Escrow is a third party that facilitates a transaction. Escrow does not represent the seller, neither the buyer. It's a neutral party, okay? Close of escrow, when we are saying close of escrow, what we mean is that when the transaction will get closed. Closing escrow means closing that transaction. The escrow period, it's a period how long the transaction will be pending after the offer gets accepted. So the only person who can answer the question is the loan officer. There is loan officers who can process a loan that quickly that we can close the escrow within 15 days, and it would be ideal because your offer will be very, very much competitive. All of a sudden, out of like 10-15 offers, if you're closing within 15, you become competitive with the cash offers, because cash offers are usually closing within 8 to 10 days, and you're not too far apart in closing with cash offers. So 15-day close of escrow is making your offer super, super strong. And if your lender can do it, that's wonderful. And if your lender cannot do it, look for a lender who can. Okay, so there's also escrows. There's loan officers who can do closing escrow within 21 days, 18, 21 days. That's also great. Anything below 30 days, I would say is awesome, because 30 days is industry standard and anybody can do 30 days. So if you're placing 30-day close of escrow, you are not really standing out from competition. Expiration offer. Every offer has an expiration date. That's something that a lot of people they're skipping on this part, because they think, oh, I made an offer, and if the seller 3 days later realizing they want to accept it, they will accept it. No, all the offer by default, the offer expiration is 3 days. In our market, it's usually 24 hours or less. After 24 hours, after your expiration date, if you haven't heard back anything from your from the seller or your agent, it means your offer was not accepted. Initial deposit. So now let's talk about initial deposit, EMD, earnest money deposit. Every single time the offer gets accepted, the next step, you have to wire your EMD to show the intentions of purchasing the home, right? The serious intentions of purchasing the home. By contract, it says within 3 business days. In our market in the Bay Area, it's usually 1 business day. If your offer gets accepted today, that will be the day 0. So tomorrow will be the day 1. My advice is to initial the wire before noon, because most of the banks, they have cutoff time at noon. So if you initiate your wire sometime in afternoon the next business day, your wire will not make it on time, and it just doesn't look good. All right, so then the loan amount, right? So we're talking about how much down payment you're willing to place, because we need to put in a contract how much loan amount you're taking. So obviously, if you're taking 80%, it means that you have to come up with additional 20%. Whatever we're putting here, that you're placing 80% down. Sorry, you're taking 80% loan. You can take any loan you want. It may be 40%, maybe 60%, maybe 80, maybe even 95. But whatever is left, we have to prove that we have those money, and we'll be proving it in the form of bank statements or your stocks, but it has to be something most recent, and it has to be in a PDF form. Moving forward, seller credit, if any, to the buyer. So it's paragraph Q1 5E. So in a slow market, if inventory is not moving, if it's a buyer's market, not only you can get a good price, you can also ask for a seller credit, and you can use it towards your closing cost. But obviously not in a hot market. Fortunately, if it's a seller's market, we can ask that. Our offer probably will be just declined. In a paragraph G318, seller agrees to pay the obligation of buyer to compensate buyer's broker under a separate agreement. Important to know that your agent gets compensated by the seller, right? But we also have to have a proof that that's really will happen. So in this paragraph G318, seller agrees to pay. It means that whatever you have in a buyer broker with your agent, if you did sign the buyer broker with your agent, will get compensated by the seller. If the seller is willing to pay 2.5%, but your buyer's agent is worth 3%, then you'll be just due 0.5%, and it will be going towards your closing cost. Okay. All right. Verification of all cash. Verification of down payment. So verification of all cash, if you're making cash offer, verification of down payment and closing cost, it will come in the form of your PDF or the stocks or whatever it is. Verification of a loan application. So we usually using underwritten approvals here in the Bay Area because the market is competitive. If you are somewhere in Sacramento, maybe the pre-qualification will be enough, or some buyers in less competitive markets, they may make an offer without even at all, like no loan applications at all, and they will be starting their loan applications only after the offer gets accepted. But it doesn't apply to the Bay Area market because our market is competitive, and we do make offers non-contingent here, no loan contingency, and we're using underwritten approvals. Okay. If you have questions what the underwritten approval is, call me. Like, I will guide you, and I will try to make more videos like this, but it's so difficult for me to cover everything in one video. It will be just 5 hours. Okay. The next step is loan contingency. So loan contingency is very simple. If you already got an underwritten approval, it will be safe for you to remove the loan contingency if your loan officer will approve. I'm not making any decisions on a loan contingency. I'm not making any decisions on behalf of my buyers. I'm just guiding them how they can play a safe game, but at the same time they can be competitive. You know your finances better, and you do know whether it's risky to remove the loan contingency or not. The reality is that majority of homes that gets sold here in the Bay Area in a hot market, they are non-contingent. So we have to figure out the way how we can remove that contingency safely. Now, what the contingencies are protecting your EMD. Remember that 3% that you will be wiring in escrow on the next business day. So contingency protect that 3%. So if you do have a loan contingency, if you ended up not getting a loan for whatever reason, you can get back that 3% from escrow. If you don't have a loan contingency and something went south, you're not able to get a loan, then that whole thing may end up in litigation, and seller will litigate over the 3%. Whether the seller will litigate over 3% or not, we never know, but my job is to let you know that there is a risk associated with that. All right, no appraisal contingency. Appraisal, that's will be happening with everyone who is taking a loan. So appraisal will come to the property and will be appraising the property. The appraiser is using the comparables that your realtor is sharing with you. Appraiser will be taking pictures of the property, will be measuring to make sure that the property is truly worth how much you offered for it. The value of the property really is the purchase price. So what does happen if the property is not getting appraised? If the property is not getting appraised, so let's say you bought a property for $1 million, it didn't appraise at $1 million, it appraised at $980, so you'll have a difference, and that difference has to be paid in cash. Okay, so you just have to increase your down payment and get more money towards your down payment. That's it. If you do have appraisal contingency, you're protecting your 3%. If the property doesn't appraise, you can cancel transaction, get your deposit back, and walk away. If you do not have an appraisal contingency and the property did not appraise, then it becomes a little risky. If you cannot comply, if you cannot make up the difference, we're putting that 3% at risk. Okay. Then inspection contingency, investigation of the property, right? So if the seller has all the inspections and you're okay with all those inspections, all the disclosures are provided to you before you making an offer, and you're okay with that, you understand them, and you have no questions or concerns, yeah, it may be safe for us to remove the inspection contingency and remove our investigation contingency. If you have any concerns, if you're not comfortable with, you feel like you need to do another inspection or you need to get your contractor in, I don't recommend to remove the inspection contingency, because yes, you may get a house, but you may also find out later that you own $200K to repair your foundation. We don't want that. Every step that you take in on your offer, everything that you do, you have to feel comfortable with that. And the purpose of your agent is to get you comfortable with that. And even if you love the house so much, but there's some items that are looking really off, and you're not comfortable, don't make an offer. There's a bunch of things left on a contract, but it's case by case. It's not for every transaction. I'm just mostly focusing on the most common things and that everyone is really going through when they make an offer. In the paragraph P19, we have everything that is included in the property sale, because keep in mind we have a real estate sale, real estate property, but we also have a personal property on the real estate property. So we want to make sure that the seller will not take it by mistake, such as fridge, washer and dryer. So we want to put it in writing. Even if you see on Redfin, oh, there's the washer and dryer, do not assume that it conveys with the property. Make sure you're putting it in writing. Okay. Excluding items. So you can also exclude if you feel that, oh, I have my fridge, I don't need a fridge. So you can ask the seller, can you remove the fridge, please? Allocation of cost. So allocation of cost is part of your closing costs. The good news, if you buy most of your closing costs is taken care of by the seller. When you receive the contract from your agent, you will see that some of the items here are marked that the seller pays for it and then the buyer pays for it. Sit down with your agent and ask your agent to walk you through, because, for example, Escrow and title in Santa Clara County is paid by the seller. In Alameda County is paid by the buyer. So you're not going to know those things unless the realtor will guide you through this. One thing I wanted to point out here is the home warranty. So home warranty it's not mandatory, like you don't have to ask the seller to pay for it and purchase it for you, but I actually, every single time I present an offer, I ask the seller to pay for the home warranty, and it's usually like about $800 for 1 year. So home warranty covers electrical, plumbing, the appliances, AC. So if anything breaks, leaks within the first year of occupancy, you will be covered under home warranty. The seller will give you credit for $800, and you can use that credit to choose the home warranty. If you feel that you need to buy for 2 years, not just one, for 5 years, you may upgrade it, but the rest you'll be just paying the difference. This is just the basic intro into the contract. Again, I want to highlight that this is just the basics, right? So every case is different, and I do recommend to reach out to me directly, and I'll be more than happy to walk you through this process again. I gave you just a basic overview. It's not as detailed as attorney will give you an overview. If you feel like you need to talk to the attorney, I advise you to talk to the attorney, because this is a legal document. You make a legal commitment when you are signing this. The goal is to find you the home, but we also want to make sure that it's safely and you're absolutely comfortable with that. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm here for you. I'm available. I'm looking forward to helping buyers getting their dream homes and selling sellers their homes for the highest possible price.